Julia Roberts Mathematics Festival is an opportunity for students to explore mathematics in the way mathematicians play with mathematics.
You have a series of tables, and at each table there's kind of a class of problems. Maybe the easiest one in that class is something that a sixth grader could get. And maybe the hardest one in that class is an advanced research problem that we don't even know what the answer is yet, but they're all related in some way. And so you can find a problem that you like, you can get together with other people at the same table who are attracted to that same class of problem, and you can work your way through it together. It's a lot closer to what mathematicians actually do.
We'll have 10 to say 20 stations with one activity per station and perhaps one or two volunteers per station. We call them facilitators or table leaders. And students get to choose what activities they want to engage with.
Finding something that you can't quite see through and then staying with it and working through it and getting to the end is something that I think everybody knows the satisfaction of.
So the first kid that sat down at our table was really impatient. We were building hexaflexagons, and I was trying to show him how to fold it, and he was like, I don't get it, I don't get it, I don't get it. I think that every kid that has been coming, I've had to learn to adapt the way I explain it. Every single time a kid finishes their hexaflexagon and the first time that they unfold it to a new color, they're just like, oh my God, and I think that's really cool.
I'm here because I'm very interested in math, and numbers are like what I do most of the time. I take numbers and try and figure things out with them.
We bring him to these because it's a way for him to be in his space. So whenever we come here, he lights up, his face lights up because there's folks that speak his language. And so he really feels in his element. So we've brought him to several of these festivals and he loves them.
I'm able to see all different kinds of puzzles, and I don't have to come up with them by myself. I'm able to have it like right in front of me. I'm able to solve them.
7, 5, that makes 12, and then plus 4, that's 16. So let's put the 3 right here, and then if you put the 4 right there.
Well, here's a question. If we have a 5 in the middle, what do these two numbers have to add up to?
So now the question is, are you able to...
They could add up to 5 or 10.
Who adds to 10 with 4?
With 4, that's 6.
6.
So 6.
Who adds to 10 with 7?
7, 3. And then 2, then 5.
And then 5 is all alone.
Yeah.
Growing up, I was never really exposed to like the fun side of math. I always liked it for some reason. I just knew that the kids around me didn't like it. And I always thought that when I got older, I would want to find a way to like change that.
In China, we just do a lot of questions and repeat and remember. But here, I think it's more attractive to the kids, and they will think it's interesting and want to learn by themselves, not the parents push them to learn. It's totally different.
Your festival is going to be as good as your facilitators. They must be familiar with the activity and they must be willing to play with students.
Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah, you're using the symmetry, that's great. There you go.
Numbers, they can like add up and they never stop. It's just really magical.
She was not really confident with the math, and right now she's quite confident. I think it's worse. I take more chance and more way to teaching her.
You're only trying them that way. Try turning them and putting them here.
Puzzles are probably one of my favorite things. Puzzles require you to think more. For example, one of them I just did was one where you have like these penguins and you put them on a scale and you're trying to balance it out on both sides, and you have to figure out how you can get them to balance. Some of them were quite difficult, others weren't as difficult.
We try to select activities that are what's considered in the literature low threshold, high ceiling. Anybody, regardless of their mathematical background, can understand at least the basic idea of what's going on and perhaps answer a few questions. We are there to explore with them.
I like the patterns. The problems are challenging too.
We've been doing this for 12 years. We're hosting a little over 100 festivals a year. At the end of this year, we will have helped host close to 500 festivals around the world.
What we want to do is reach out to minority communities, immigrant communities, working class communities, rural communities.
A way to reach underserved communities is to go to hold smaller festivals at libraries or at local schools. We want to support them, and we want to help them build a collection of materials that they can use year after year. We want students to experience mathematics the way mathematicians experience mathematics. And when mathematicians do mathematics, the constraints come from the problems themselves. The goal is to create a society that values mathematical ideas and can use that mathematical training, that logical training, that artistic training to other facets of life.
Just knowing that feeling, like if I'm presented with a hard problem, it's like, yeah, I can get through it somehow. I may have to ask for advice, depending on what it is, but there is an answer and it's achievable and you can get there.